The big matchup, Calloway County versus Murray High. Tracy Ross along with John Rose bringing you the second half of the boys-girls doubleheader. And in the first game, Murray High defeated Callaway 61-51, but that was with an asterisk. Valerie Shelton did not play because of a sore back.
Welcome to Murray High School.
Here's the starting lineup being announced by Principal Bill Wells for the Murray High team.
Tigers of Murray High School.
You hear there is an excited fan reaction. In fact, we've got a crowd microphone here, Tracy, but I don't think I'm going to turn the crowd microphone up because we're not going to need that. You're going to have trouble enough hearing us as it is because this place is absolutely packed. I mean, I've seen the place packed before, but it's been several years because it's been several years since the Lakers have played here. But there is a lot of excitement here tonight. There's a lot of, the noise level is amazing. I know I can see to the sides of the bleacher areas, there are fans lined up along the stairwells. There are fans lined up along the doorways, and you can see them out in the hallways. So this place is packed, and this is every bit of capacity, and just a great deal of excitement in the air. Finally, the Callaway County Laker Murray High Tiger series has returned to a home-and-home series.
And for Callaway, Wes Cogdell starting in honor guard. I believe it's his first start of the year.
Wow, that's an interesting move. I hadn't asked Coach Green. I just assumed he would be going with the same starting lineup. So that will be interesting. Wes Cogdell starting. He hasn't seen as much action as I had thought at the beginning of the year that he would, but maybe he's starting to come into his own. And, of course, he was delayed a little bit because of football season, Tracy. He's sort of like some of the Murray High Tiger players as well, that he was not able to play basketball early. We'll take a 30-second break now, and we'll be right back. This is WNBS Murray.
The perilous night, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And we're ready to start the action tonight. Murray High School versus Callaway County, a combined record of 8-1. John, it doesn't get any better than this.
No, it doesn't. Like I said, this place is packed and ready for action, and this is the first time that this gymnasium has seen the Callaway Lakers and the Murray High Tigers go at it since 1989. I was there for that one. I've been there for several of them, but it's been a while, and I'm glad to be back here. I know all the fans are, and boy, it's packed, and it's going to be a hot night tonight in Murray High School Gymnasium.
Certainly is, John. Really quick, any quick thoughts on what the pace of this game is going to be?
Oh, I imagine it's going to start out very fast. Both teams are very athletic. Callaway probably going to try to start out with a three-point game, so I'd say it'll be a very quick-paced game again.
Jumping center, Bohannon and Foster. Control goes out of bounds, and Murray saves it. Murray High going left to right on your radio dial, and bringing up the ball will be James Curtis. He's being guarded by Brent Anderson. Curtis drives to the top of the key and dumps it over to number 5, James Foster. Foster down inside. It's up, and it's in by Jeremiah Rayburn. Murray leads 2-0. Callaway going right to left. Hornbuckle brings it all up the court. He's being guarded by Allen. Hornbuckle gives it off to Anderson. He's at the right elbow. He's guarded by Cahoon. Back up top to Bohannon, playing at the top of the key. Foster's on Bohannon. Bohannon gives it back up to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle waiting at the hash mark, and he resets the offense. Gives it over to Cleaver. Cleaver being guarded by Allen. Cleaver has the ball stolen. Foster has it. He's going up and dunks it. James Foster. Foster with the slam, and Murray High leads 4-0. Calloway back down the other way. Cleaver to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle stands at the right elbow and gets it to Wes Cogdell at the top of the key. Cogdell over to Cleaver. Cleaver looking inside, can't find anything. He's being guarded by Allen. Back up top to Brent Anderson. Cahoon is on him. Anderson back over to Cleaver. Cleaver inside to Hornbuckle. He spins. It's stolen by Foster. Foster gives it up to Curtis, and he crosses the timeline. Murray High up 4-0 with 6:43 to go in the first quarter of play. Over to Allen in the corner. Allen tries to dump it down inside to Rayburn. Intercepted by Bohannon, and Hornbuckle brings it down the right sideline, going right to left. He dumps it off to Bohannon. Over to Anderson in the corner. He tries to pass it inside, and it's picked off by Murray, and we have a foul on Calloway. I believe that's on Brent Anderson.
That will be against Brent Anderson. Good call by the official. They got him in reaching in as he tried to pick off that intercepted pass, but was not able to do it. First foul of the night.
Allen will inbounds from Murray High here on the near court. He gets it into Curtis, and he crosses the timeline. Murray up 4-0, 6:25 to go in the first quarter play. Curtis is met by Anderson. He swings it over to Allen, and Allen cross-court pass to Cahoon. Cahoon back into the hands of Curtis. Curtis stands at half court and gives it up once again to Foster. Curtis standing on the Tiger. Anderson now finally comes out to guard him, and Curtis looking to reset the offense. He gets it over in the corner to Chris Allen. Allen, another cross-court pass to Cahoon. Cahoon inside to Rayburn. Rayburn back outside again to Curtis. Curtis over to Allen. It's no good. Rebound come off to Cahoon. It's stolen now by Hornbuckle, and Hornbuckle bringing the fast break up the right sideline. He gives it to Bohannon at the top of the key. Swings it over to Anderson. Anderson looks to get the ball in. He's being guarded by Cahoon. Anderson stands at the top of the key. Over to Cleaver in the left elbow. He's being guarded by Allen. Allen still on him. Back to Cleaver. Cleaver drives around his man. Puts up a 10-footer. No good. Rebound out of bounds. Set it touched by Murray, and so it'll be Callaway County's ball with 5:33 to go in the first quarter.
Callaway County yet to score. They're having a hard time dumping it off inside and can't get the three off either.
Cleaver inbounds to Bohannon. Bohannon back to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle drives through the middle of the lane. Puts up a little 8-footer. Good.
Nice shot by Hornbuckle. Elevated well.
Hornbuckle's first two of the game. Callaway narrows the lead to 4-2, and I believe they're going to give it to Murray High. Hornbuckle dove out of bounds and tried to knock the ball off the leg of Chris Allen, but they're going to say that it's Murray High's ball.
Oh, Coach Green is irate, too.
And with reason to be as well, John. Curtis has the ball, swings it over to Cahoon. Cahoon stands at the top of the key, guarded by Cleaver. Back into the hands of Curtis. Curtis swings it around to Allen. Curtis with a three, no good. A rebound comes off to Cahoon, and we have a foul. Foul will be against Callaway. It just remains who they call it on. Number 15, who's that foul against, John?
Looks like against Thomas Hornbuckle.
That's Hornbuckle's first, and Murray High inbounds it. Allen gets it in finally to Rayburn. Rayburn drives the baseline, picked off by Hornbuckle, and we have a foul in the backcourt on Chris Allen. Allen's first of the game, a holding call. Callaway will bring it the length of the court as Cleaver inbounds underneath the Lakers basket. Lakers going right to left on your radio dial. Hornbuckle gives it back to Cleaver. Cleaver's going to bring the ball up the court. Now gives it off to Anderson. Anderson crosses the timeline, picked up by Cahoon. Over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle being guarded by Curtis. Swings it back to Wes Cogdell at the top of the key. Over to Anderson. Tries to drive past Cahoon. Now swings the ball back around to Cleaver. Cleaver drives in. Little 8-foot one-handed. His shot is good. Cleaver's first two of the game, and we have a 4-all game with 4:37 to go in the first quarter of play. Pace a little slower than we might have imagined, John.
That's right, only 4-4 with almost half the first quarter elapsed, but I have a feeling it'll pick up.
Curtis stands at the top of the key, drives by Anderson, puts up a 12-footer, no good off the back of the iron. Rebound off Hornbuckle, out of bounds. It'll be Murray High's basketball. Inbounds again from Murray will be Chris Allen. Being guarded by Bohannon on the baseline. Allen gets it into Cahoon. Cahoon picked up by Cogdell. Swings it over to Allen in the right corner. It's good from three.
They made it look easy.
Boy, they have. Brent Anderson crosses the timeline. He's still being guarded by Cahoon. Looks over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle stands at the hash mark on the near court, being guarded by Curtis. Swings it back to Bohannon at the top of the key. He gets it to Anderson. Anderson drives the baseline, and we have a foul against Murray High.
Against Damon Cahoon, his first of the night, third for the team.
Callaway inbounds it under their own basket. Cleaver stands on the baseline, ready to inbounds the ball. Comes into Bohannon. Bohannon swings it back to Hornbuckle. He stands just inside the circle at half court, being guarded by Curtis, and he swings it down to Cogdale. Cogdale tries to set a pick, thinks better of it, gives it back to Cleaver. Cleaver wide open from the right elbow. Good.
Oh, you can't let Cleaver wide open like that, or he's going to drain it on you every time.
Calloway knocks it again at 7. Curtis brings it across midcourt, being picked up by Anderson. He dumps it off to Foster. Foster playing out on the perimeter. Now Cahoon has it, tries to drive in, loses it off his foot. Callaway County ball.
That official is animated, let me tell you. He's showing up himself, isn't he?
I think he's polishing up his Hollywood resume, John. Murray High will inbounds the ball now. As they're going to say it went off somebody's foot. Allen inbounds the ball into Cahoon. Cahoon stands at the hash mark, and he brings it back towards the middle of the court. Anderson laying off of him. Cahoon sets the offense and just about throws it out of bounds, but it's picked up by Foster. Foster cross-court pass to Rayburn. Rayburn drives by Hornbuckle, puts up a 12-footer. No good. Rebound coming down to Cogdale. Cogdale gives it to Hornbuckle. He's running down the right sideline. Bohannon flashes to the basket, but he misses him. Gives it to Anderson for a 3. No good. Rebound controlled by Murray High. Allen brings it down the court. He stands at midcourt, and they're going to call a travel against Murray High School.
You hear the crowd reaction. It's going to be a loud one here.
It certainly is. Hornbuckle's going to inbounds it here on the near sideline. The pass is backcourt to Anderson. Anderson brings it across the timeline, being picked up by Allen. Inside to Bohannon, playing in the high post. He drives towards the basket, open lane, missed the layup, but tipped up and in by Wes Cogdale.
Great return by Cogdale.
That was. Foster controls the ball. He gives it off to Allen. Allen's driving towards the basket. Nice pass into Rayburn. And Murray High School ties it at 9. Brent Anderson drives the lane and gives the ball up to Cleaver. Cleaver puts up a little 13-footer. No good. Rebound controlled by Foster. And he throws a baseball pass the length of the court to Allen. 6-footer is good. Murray High School leads early on by a score of 11-9. Cleaver brings the ball up the near sideline. Stops at half court. Gives it up to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle now controls the offense. He's being picked up by Curtis. Hornbuckle pass over to Anderson on the right elbow. Anderson gives it back to Cogdale, standing at the top of the key. Cogdale to Hornbuckle. Loses the dribble. Now controls towards the middle of the lane. Pass off to Bohannon. Back out to Hornbuckle now at the top of the key. He gives it up to Anderson. And they called steps on Brent Anderson. Murray High School had the ball with 2:02 to go in the first quarter.
I think it was a good call. Anderson didn't like the call, but Tracy, I think that was a good call to the official as he clearly walked it out to the top of the key.
It certainly was. Murray High School inbounds the ball. Allen into Curtis. Curtis cross court to Cahoon. And Cahoon crosses midcourt. Gives it up to Foster. Foster tries to drive the baseline. Knocks Bohannon down and misses the layup. Rebound comes off to Thomas Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle pressured in backcourt. It's stolen by Foster. Missed the dunk. But a foul. Hacked in the act by Thomas Hornbuckle.
Hornbuckle tried to say he didn't touch him. It was a good foul though, Hornbuckle, but he definitely had the foul.
It definitely was, as James Curtis motioning to the Murray High fans to get up on their feet. He didn't really need to. They already are. Coming into the game now for Callaway County is number 10, Chad Darnell, and Wes Cogdale takes the seat. Cogdale played well, John.
He did indeed. Tell you what, Tracy, James Foster is 6'4", but he can play like about a 6'8" player. He can get way above the rim. He could probably put his elbow on the rim almost.
He's got the hops, as they'd say. First shot is up and good. James Foster with 3 early points. Murray High out to a 12-9 lead. He gets one more. He puts down the dribble. Eyes the basket. Second shot is on its way and no good. Lane violation against Murray High School. Callaway County's ball. Cleaver will inbounds under Murray High's basket. Callaway going the length of the court. Pressure in the backcourt applied by Rayburn. Ball inbounds to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle stands under Murray High's basket. Now he starts to bring the ball up the far sideline. Being pressured in backcourt by Curtis. He crosses midcourt looking for someone to get the ball up to. Finally finds Anderson on the right sideline. He drills back to the top of the key. He has Cleaver wide open in the left corner. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound comes down to Cleaver. Got his own rebound. Second shot up and in. And Cleaver has 7 early points. Callaway cuts the lead to 12-11, a minute and 20 to go in the first quarter of play. Allen brings the ball up on the right wing. He's guarded by Hornbuckle. Finally gives it up to Curtis. Curtis stands about 5 feet back from the top of the key. He swings it over to Rayburn. Rayburn drives by Darnell. Now dumps it out to Cahoon. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound comes down to Darnell, and we've got a foul. Pushing against Darnell. That's big. Well, John, I don't think Callaway's crowd really agreed with that one.
Well, you can probably hear the reaction, but apparently the official saw something right down there that we couldn't see from here.
Allen's going to inbounds it under Murray High's basket. 1:05 to go in the first quarter play, and Murray High leads Callaway 12-11. Allen tosses the ball long. Cahoon gets it at half court. Swings it over to Foster. Three-pointer is no good off the back of the iron. Rebound into the hands of Hornbuckle. He's double-teamed in the backcourt by Allen and Curtis. Ball is tipped and controlled by Darnell. Darnell gives it back to Hornbuckle. And they barely get it across in time. Anderson stands at the hash mark. He controls the offense. Bringing the ball to the top of the key. He's picked up by Allen. He gives it up to Bohannon playing in the high post. Bohannon driving towards the basket. Lays it up and in. Bohannon has two, and Callaway's taking a lead, 13-12. Long baseball pass to Rayburn. Tips it outside to Curtis. Three-pointer, no good as it rims out. Rebound comes down to Brent Anderson. As Darnell hits the floor, Anderson being pressured at midcourt, and he is fouled. Pushing call against James Foster. That'll be his first foul. 24 seconds to go in the first quarter. Callaway inbounds in the backcourt. And they're leading 13-12.
Callaway's probably going to go for the last shot here, especially knowing Coach Green and his old four to score. He doesn't run that much anymore, but he is the kind of...
Checking in for Murray High is number 11, Jason West, seeing his first action. As Bohannon stands, gives the ball up to Anderson. Anderson brings it across half court with 17 seconds to go in the quarter. He dumps it off to Cleaver in the near sideline. He's being guarded by West. Cleaver holding the ball up in the corner. 10 seconds to go. Gives it to Bohannon. Bohannon stands inside the circle looking for a man. He's got Hornbuckle, but takes it himself. Now finds Cleaver wide open in the left corner. Three-pointer is no good. 1 second. And that's the first quarter of play here at Tiger Stadium. Callaway County leading Murray High 13-12. We'll be back right after this on WNBS.
Carroll Mazda's new and used car inventory is wall-to-wall, and prices are being slashed now through December 31st. Instead of paying a huge year-end inventory tax, the folks at Carroll Mazda are offering absolutely rock-bottom prices on every new and used unit in stock, on-the-spot financing with low interest rates. That offers you the lowest lease or bank monthly payments ever offered. December is the best time to buy or lease from Carroll Mazda in Murray. Sale ends December 31st. Hurry in while the selection is good. Carroll Mazda, 800 Chestnut Street, Murray.
Back here at Murray High School Gymnasium, 13-12, the visiting Callaway County Lakers have the 1-point lead over the Murray High Tigers here at halftime. They put 8 minutes back on the clock. There's the horn to bring the teams back out. And Tracy, this has really been an exciting first half as the Tigers got out on top quick, but a three-pointer by Cleaver, and just a stunning offensive performance by Cleaver with 7 points already in the first quarter brought the Lakers back.
Certainly has, John. It started out slow, but boy, oh boy, is the pace picked up now. 13-12. I believe we're in for a barn burner. Inbounding the ball for Callaway will be Thomas Hornbuckle at the midcourt line. He's being guarded by Curtis. Hornbuckle gives it in to Tyler Bohannon. Now he gives it up to Brent Anderson, and Anderson, who's been bringing the ball up the court much of the game, will cross the court. He passes over to Cleaver. Cleaver being guarded by West. Cleaver gives it to Bohannon, standing at the top of the key. Bohannon looking inside, finds Anderson on the right elbow. Now flashes to the basket. Anderson gives it to Cleaver instead. Pass inside to Tyler Bohannon about 5 feet out. Gets around his man, lays it up and in. Beautiful play by Tyler Bohannon. Callaway County out to a 15-12 lead. Murray High inbounds it. West, baseball pass into Allen. Allen pulls up from 6, off the glass and good. Chris Allen leads Murray with 7. Cleaver back the other way. He's being guarded by Rayburn. Cleaver dumps it off to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle standing at the elbow. Swings around to Darnell. Darnell gives it to Anderson. Back into Bohannon from 6 feet out. He puts the shot up and no good. Rebound comes down to Murray High. West has the ball. Now Curtis crosses midcourt. He's standing at the three-point line being guarded by Hornbuckle. Swings around to Allen. Three-pointer is good. Chris Allen has 10 points, and Murray High School is only trailing 17-5 now. Cleaver, 17-15 rather. Cleaver brings the ball across half court, gives it up to Anderson. Anderson standing on the right elbow. Bohannon back out on the perimeter again, looking down inside for a man. Hornbuckle swinging around behind him. Near steal by Murray. Finally, Cleaver controls at the top of the key. Hornbuckle flashing to the basket. Two-footer up and good. Thomas Hornbuckle with the acrobatic move. He has 4. Callaway and Murray knotted at 17 each. Foster has the ball for Murray High. Dumps it over to Allen drives the lane, puts a shot up and in, and they're calling a charge that will not count against Chris Allen.
That was a good call with the official that time. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He drove in amongst 4 people and about knocked down Tyler Bohannon. He didn't like it, but looked good to me.
Certainly, he was going for the spectacular layup, but Bohannon had the position.
That's 2 fouls now on Allen.
That could be big as Brent Anderson brings the ball up the far sideline. He's being guarded by West. Trapped now as Allen comes out, but he gives the ball up to Cleaver, or Darnell rather. Darnell over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle drives in, puts up a 7-footer, rims out, rebound by Allen. Allen gives it off to Curtis. Murray High going left to right on your dial. Curtis crosses the timeline, and he's being guarded by Brent Anderson. Drives right by him, puts up a little 3-footer. It's no good. Rebound Allen up and no good. And Hornbuckle has the ball for Callaway County. 17 each with 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Anderson in the left corner. 3 is good. Back the other way for Murray High as Allen lays it up and in, and we have a block on Thomas Hornbuckle.
That'll be 2 points on the foul.
Hornbuckle's second foul of the game. Murray High leads trails 20 to 17. Now they're counting the basket 20 to 19. Callaway up. Coming into the game for Callaway County is number 12, Ricky Boyle, as Hornbuckle's going to have to sit now with those 2 fouls. That's big,
actually
John.
3 fouls for Thomas Hornbuckle, Tracy. He has 3 in the game now, so that's really critical for the Lakers.
What does that mean for Callaway, John?
Well, that means that they're going to be without their chief point guard, and Anderson's going to have to take a lot more responsibility, which he's not used to.
And the shot's good by Allen. It's knotted up at 20 each now as Anderson bringing the ball up court, breaks Murray High's press beautifully, and he's fouled by James Curtis. And Curtis does not like the call.
There's going to be some technicals called before the end of this game, Tracy. Almost every call, the players and the coaches are getting outrageous, and the fans are in an uproar as well, so I can just see some technicals happening.
Definitely. Boyle's going to inbounds it here at the hash mark from the near court. He gives it back court to Anderson. Anderson, as you said, playing the point now for Callaway. He crosses half court and gives it up to Cleaver. Cleaver being guarded by Allen. Cleaver swings it around to Darnell. Darnell over to Boyle. Boyle gives it back up to Bohannon, loses the handle. He stands at the top of the key, being guarded by James Foster. Anderson has it at the right elbow, looking inside. He's guarded by West, between the legs. Back now to Bohannon, standing at the top of the key. Bohannon drives in just inside the 3-point line, passes off to Anderson. 3, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound comes down to Callaway. Cleaver has it. 12-footer is no good. Foster comes down with the board, and he missed Rayburn flashing to the basket. Gives it up to Curtis. He's fouled in the backcourt by Brad Cleaver.
Well, this is a really physical ball game.
I've already got 16 fouls on Callaway early on. I believe Murray has 5.
That's correct, 5 and 6. So both teams are going to be in the bonus very soon, very likely.
Allen inbounds it to Curtis, and Curtis brings the ball up the court. Anderson meets him about 5 feet this side of backcourt. Curtis crosses the timeline. Being guarded by Anderson. He gives it up in the corner to Foster. Foster guarded by Darnell now. And pass down inside to Rayburn. It's up and in. Murray takes the lead, 22 to 20. Back the other way now. Callaway gets it back out to the top of the key to Cleaver. He finds Anderson wide open from the right corner. It's no good. Rebound by Darnell. And he's tied up on the baseline. They're going to call it a jump ball, and I believe that goes Murray High's way. Good play by Foster that time, John.
Yeah, Foster's a heady play. He could have been charged with foul that time, but that was a good call to the official. It was a jump ball, definitely.
Foster has the ball, and he passes over to Curtis. Curtis being met in the backcourt. Double team now by Cleaver and Anderson. Breaks the pressure and finds Allen wide open at the right corner. 3-pointer, no good. Tyler Bohannon with the rebound. He's still being guarded, but Allen breaks the press now. Callaway has a 3-on-1 break. Darnell up and in. Beautiful play by Chad Darnell. Callaway County knocks it at 22 each. Full court pressure applied by Callaway. Breaks it. Rayburn has it. Pulls up from 7. Off the glass is up and in. Rayburn has 8. Murray High leads 24 to 22. Anderson met in the backcourt by West. He's walking it up the far sideline. Loses the handle, crosses midcourt, and dumps the ball off to Cleaver. Cleaver standing at the left elbow. Back up to Boyle at the top of the key and finds Bohannon in the right corner. Bohannon dribbles now, pass inside, picked off by Foster. Back racing towards the hoop, puts up a 3-footer, no good. Good position by Bohannon. Rebound comes down off the hands of Boyle, and it's going to be Murray High's ball.
Foster saw a slam dunk all the way down there, and Tyler Bohannon did a good job in preventing that. Although the Tigers do have the ball, it could have easily been 2 points in fine fashion for the Tigers.
I believe Foster thinks dunk every time he gets the ball, John.
He can do it.
Cahoon back in the game for Murray High. He's under their basket, and he dumps the ball back into Foster. Foster, beautiful pass back to Cahoon. Up, missed the layup, but Foster gets the board and puts it back in. He has 5, and Murray High leads 26-22. Anderson walking the ball up the far sideline. He's guarded by West. Crosses half court, stands at the top of the key. Bohannon flashes towards the basket. He misses him. Gives it to Darnell in the corner. Bohannon stands at the top of the key. Gives it off to Boyle. Boyle guarded by Curtis. Heavy pressure by Curtis, and it's stolen by Curtis. He crosses half court, driving towards the basket. Keeps it himself. Missed the layup. Beautiful play by Curtis. Couldn't quite get it to go down. We have a foul against Calloway. I believe that's against Brent Anderson.
Right. Brent Anderson had no choice but to foul that time or give up an easy layup. So a good foul by Anderson, although it is his second, and Murray High now is in the bonus as Calloway has 7 fouls.
Cogdale coming back in for Calloway as I believe Boyle's going to have a seat now. Stepping up to the line for Murray High School is Jeremiah Rayburn. Already has 8 points in the game. That's a little unexpected. They used to have so many so fast, John.
It is, and he has not shot a free throw for the night, and he misses his first.
Rims out. He'll get another one. Foster standing just inside the half-court line to prevent the snowbird. And second one, he misses. Bohannon has the rebound. He dumps it off to Anderson. And Calloway going across half court, trailing 26-22. 2:56 to go in the first half of play. Cleaver has it at the top of the key. He's being guarded by Cahoon. Drives inside the perimeter. Dumps off to Darnell. But Rayburn's there. Finds Anderson in the right corner. He drives past his man. Dumps the ball off to Cogdale at the left elbow. Anderson has it at the top of the key. Off to Darnell in the right corner. Three-pointer good. Beautiful play. Chad Darnell has 3. And Callaway County only trailing 26-25. Cahoon on the fast break to Foster. Lays it up and in. And Murray answers back. Foster has 7. Cleaver inbounds to Anderson.
And Callaway defense has got to get back because Murray will eat them up every time, and they're doing it just the same way every time.
That's true. Anderson drives the lane, dumps it off to Cleaver. Cleaver finds Darnell wide open, or rather Bohannon. Little 12-footer's no good. Rebound comes off to Curtis. Curtis splitting the defense, throws the ball away. Tyler Bohannon picks it up, and he's hacked by Jeremiah Rayburn.
I told you they were contesting calls. Jeremiah Rayburn was all over him, and he wanted to act like he didn't commit the foul. But it's that kind of intensity tonight. The crowd and the players and coaches are all into it just as much as they will be in any game this season, except maybe the regional tournament.
Looks like a circus out here, John, so there's no jugglers or cotton candy. Checking in the game for Callaway is going to be number 41. Who is that for Callaway County?
41, let's see, I don't have a number on him.
Looks like he's on the JV team. Well, he'll be unnamed for the time being as Darnell has the ball, giving it up to the mystery man who brings it up the court.
I want to say that's David Green, but I'm not sure enough to say that.
Well, we'll call him the Phantom for right now. Anyway, Darnell has the ball on the far sideline. He's being pressured by Foster. Finally gets the ball to Cogdale. Cogdale looking inside. He's guarded by Curtis. Goes for the steal. Cogdale finds Darnell. Darnell standing in the far corner. Gives it up to Cogdale again. He's standing way back from the three-point line. Cross-court pass into 41. I believe that's Green, and he gives it back up to Darnell. Minute 35 to go in the first half of play. As Darnell's being guarded by Foster, and he gives the ball up to 41, passes around to Cleaver. Cleaver guarded by Cahoon. He walks the ball out towards the top of the key, looking inside, finds Green. Green guarded by West. He drives to his right, stands at the top of the key, goes towards the basket, lays it up and in, and he's fouled. Good play.
And that's Duncan, Tracy.
Who?
Duncan. Duncan for the Lakers,
I don't know who Duncan is, but
he just impressed me, though.
He certainly did.
A one-handed move in heavy pressure with the left hand, and I believe he's right-handed, so that was some way little move, and he's going to get one to boot.
I believe the foul was on West, remember, wasn't it?
It was on Jason West, you're right.
West first, and Duncan, we're going to go by one name now, stepping to the line. First shot is up and good. He has 3. It's tied at 28 with a minute 13 to go in the first half of play. Curtis brings it across the half court, pulls up from 3. It's up and no good off the back of the iron. Rebound comes down to Cleaver. Cleaver racing up the far sideline, dumps the ball off to Darnell, puts up the shot, and no good from 3 feet. Tipped up and no good by Cogdale. Finally, the rebound comes down to Jeremiah Rayburn. Boy, oh boy, physical play on the boards in this game. That foul is going to be against Chad Darnell. That'll be his second foul of the game. 28-28 with 58 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Of course, with both teams in the bonus, that'll send Murray High down to the opposite corner of the court here. Weatherly now will shoot. Weatherly was a very successful wide receiver on the football team this last year, and he has proved his athletic skills in a Murray High uniform. He's doing it in basketball now as opposed to football.
Shot no good. As Duncan brings it across the court, he finds Cleaver. Cleaver driving the baseline. 7-footer is no good, but he's fouled by Cahoon. That'll be Cahoon's second, and with 49 seconds left to go, Cleaver's going to step to the line. He already has 7 points on the night. Bohannon going back into the backcourt to guard against the long baseball pass.
Interestingly enough, Tracy, according to my statistics, this is the first free throw that Callaway County has shot tonight.
I believe you're right, John. Just the nature of the game, it's been running gun all the way. Shot is up and good from Cleaver. He has 8 coming into the game for Murray High is number 22, Ethan Crum. Ethan's brother Bart, a successful basketball player for many years for Murray High. Stepping to the line for his second shot now will be Cleaver. He puts the dribble down and eyes the basket. Shot is up and good. Cleaver has 9. Callaway County leads 30-28. Foster inbounds to Curtis. Curtis racing up the far sideline, being picked up by Duncan. He turns around and brings the ball back up to the top of the key now. Between the legs, drives by his man, tries to dump it off to Rayburn, but he's fouled by number 41, Duncan from Callaway. I promise we'll have a first name for Duncan sometime in the second half of play. As it is with 42 seconds left to go here in the first half. Callaway County leading Murray 30-28. I believe we were right, John. It's been a fast-paced affair.
Sure has, and 42 seconds left to go. We might see 4 or 5 more points, but you know, it's been fast-paced, but not really that high scoring. It'll end up at this pace about a 60-point game, which wouldn't be that out of the ordinary.
It's about like the girls' game, actually.
Right.
Curtis steps the line. He hasn't scored yet in the game. He puts down the dribble, taking his time with it. First shot is up and good. He'll get another. Murray High closes to within 1 at 30-29.
Murray High not shooting that well from the free throw line on the night. Only 2 for 6.
Allen looks like he's set to check back in for Murray. The second shot is up and good. Tie game, 30 each with 42 seconds left to go in the first half of play. Allen comes in and Foster comes out. Foster only had 7 in the first half. I believe Callaway will take that if they can hold him to half his average. Ball comes inbounds to Duncan and back to Cleaver. Cleaver's bringing the ball up the far sideline. He's picked up by Ethan Crum. Callaway looks like they're going to hold it for the last shot. He finds Cogdale. Cogdale in the right corner, guarded by Curtis. He finds Bohannon. Bohannon swings it back around to Duncan. Up and in by Cogdale. Beautiful play by Callaway.
Quick move by Cogdale, too. He almost had it blocked, but was able to get it past.
It was. Curtis brings it the other way. He's racing up the near sideline with 15 seconds left to go. Drives in the middle of the lane. Little hanging 5-footer. No good. Duncan with the rebound. He's double-teamed in backcourt, and he's fouled. Nice play. Callaway leads 32-30 with 9 seconds left to go in the first half.
I looked at Curtis. He said to Coach Miller, I can see what you say. He said, my bad, Coach. He knew that he shouldn't have committed that foul with only 9 seconds left to go, and that might be a factor later on in the game.
Boy, 41, Duncan has been a spark for Callaway thus far in the game. He has 3 penalty points. He's going to step to the line with a chance to get 5 and increase Callaway's lead to 4. As it stands now, 32-30 Callaway, and Duncan goes to the line. Curtis checked out of the game from Murray High. First shot is up and good. Well, he's seen nothing but the bottom of the net so far. He gets another. Puts down the dribble. Eyes the basket. It's airborne and it's good. Callaway leads 34-30, and it's picked off by number 41 with 5 seconds left to go. Cleaver pulls up from 30 feet and no good. Up and no good as the first half expires. Calloway County missed the layup and missed the chance to increase their lead to 6. It stands 34-30. Calloway County leading Murray High School at the end of one half of play. For John Rose, I'm Tracy Ross. After this 2-minute break, we'll be back on WNBS Sports.
Know how much it'll cost you to get a fixed-rate home loan at United Commonwealth Bank? Not a dime. So if you're looking for a better deal for your current mortgage, or if you want to get the best deal on a new home loan, there's no time like the present. For a limited time, United Commonwealth Bank is offering qualified borrowers a no-cost fixed-rate home loan. Some restrictions apply. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Clinic Pharmacy knows how much your trust means. Setting standards for other drugstores just comes naturally. Pharmacist Steve Compton believes that quality ingredients and extra attention to patient information has made Clinic Pharmacy's prescription service the one more people count on. So the next time you need a prescription filled, rely on Clinic Pharmacy to serve you. Clinic Pharmacy on North 5th Street in the Walnut Plaza, Murray. Call them at 753-8302.
Is a special announcement. If you think you've heard all there is to hear about furniture sales, think again, because for these final days at Woodcrafters, your bill won't arrive till 95. But the countdown is on. The finance company will only allow Woodcrafters to make this offer for a few more days. So go now. Get the furniture you've been postponing and don't bring any money. Buy with no down payment, no interest, and no payments till 1995. Yes, from Woodcrafters, your bill won't arrive till 95. You couldn't get a better deal unless you own the store. Buy living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more, and your bill won't arrive till 95. Qualified buyers make no down payment, pay no interest, and no payments till January 1995 at Woodcrafters Sit and Sleep Galleries. Both stores in Paducah and Murray. So don't put us off, put your payments off. For these final days at Woodcrafters, your bill arrive till 95.
Welcome back to Murray High School Gymnasium, where the Callaway County Lakers have a 4-point lead by a score of 34-30 over the Murray High Tigers. We're about a third of the way into the halftime period, and glad to have as my special halftime guest Coach Jimmy Harrell of the Murray High Lady Tigers. And Coach Harrell, I know it's hard to hear with the PA system like this, but congratulations on a well-played game, and you had to feel good about the win here tonight.
We sure do, John. You know, we've been out at Murray State for a few years, and Callaway's beating us out there. This is the first time we've been back, and we're glad to be back on a nice floor. If you talked about it earlier today, that it really brightens up the gym and looks nice in here, and that was a big win for our girls. You know, we go to 6-1 now, and we're 1-0 in the district, and you know, Callaway's a good team. You know, Valerie didn't play tonight. You know, we wish for her to be back and healthy, but you know, I wasn't crying when she wasn't playing, but I do want her to get well, and because she's an outstanding player in the first region.
Right, you had several stars for your team, not the least of which was Bonnie Payne, who ended up the game with 18 points.
Right, you know, Bonnie's been a mainstay for us. She's a junior, and she's very good with the basketball. I don't really know what all this is, but anyway, she's one of our leaders, and will be back next year. Stacy Thomas looks good. We had 4 girls in double figures, and you know, that helps. And they hurt us a little bit in the paint inside early, and we kind of shut it down in the second half. I think Molly had about 12 or 14 points in the first half, and I think maybe 2 or 4 in the second half. But you know, we got them shooting them perimeter shot, and you know, they wasn't falling. You know, any night they can, but tonight they weren't falling for them. And our girls played well, and we really wanted this game because, like I said, it's the first time. Last time we played here, we won, and we talked about that all week, coming back and playing here again and winning.
Well, that raises your record to 6-1, Coach Harrell, and I've heard the term applied to your team, the surprise team. Now, do you think you're a surprise team this year, or did you know all along that you were going to have this kind of success?
Well, we knew we'd be quick. You know, we've got some exciting young players, and when you're young, you're going to have nights that you don't look too good and, you know, make some mistakes. A couple of times tonight, we let our young show because of inexperience in some spots, but, you know, we were able to regain our composure and came back and maintained the lead and stretched it out to 10 or 11 points and did some good things. And that's a sign of maturity, and it's good to have sophomores and freshmen, you know, doing that. And we had girls come off the bench and step in and hit big free throws, and, you know, that helps you when you have young kids come up and deliver in pressure situations.
Well, just a great game tonight, and congratulations on that again. But finally, we're seeing a great game here with the Lakers and the Tigers in the boys game, and I wonder what your comments would be on that.
Oh, it's evenly matched teams look like right now. They're both playing nose-to-nose basketball. Got a good crowd here tonight, and it's going to go down to the wire, I'm sure, because both teams are really fired up for this. It's a crosstown rival. Anytime they get together in just about any sport, it's going to be a nose-to-nose game. And this is a situation here tonight that it's a good high school atmosphere. Everybody in here tight and packed. I know some people are a little uncomfortable, but it makes it fun for the players because it gives it the atmosphere of being a full house. And a lot of times at Murray State, you feel like you're playing in a small crowd. And even though there may be 2,500 people there, it doesn't really look like it. So, it's good for the players, and I think it's good for the fans to get out and get in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, the atmosphere is great, and the Murray High Lady Tigers did great tonight, too, and we congratulate you again on that and wish you best of luck for the rest of the season, and thanks for coming and giving us a word here.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Coach Jimmy Harrell of the Murray High Lady Tigers successful tonight in a victory over the Calloway County Lady Lakers by a score of 61-51, and congratulate him again. But right now we're in the middle of a big game between the boys teams, the Tigers and the Lakers. The current score 34-30. The Lakers out on top of the Tigers. We're going to take a 30-second break here and be right back. This is WNBS Murray.
Weishart's Grocery, your one-stop in Midway, has breakfast ready at 6 a.m., including Wisey's delicious homemade biscuits, and always a fresh pot of coffee and a friendly smile. And come back for lunch. You can choose from a good home-cooked sit-down lunch from Wisey's large deli and grill. Wisey wants to wish the very best of luck to all the Lakers sports teams this year. Next time you're hungry for good food, drive on out to Weishart's Grocery, 641 South at Midway.
Back here at Murray High School Gymnasium, the newly refurbished with a new wood floor. Looks excellent tonight as the Callaway County Lakers in the boys game are defeating the Murray High Tigers by 4 points, a score 34-30. We've got about 3 minutes left in the halftime, and joining me as another special guest here is baseball coach for Callaway County, Eddie Morris. And you were telling me of a big event that's going to be coming up in Callaway County as far as baseball coaching clinics are concerned.
Yes, sir. What we've got going on is January 15th and 16th, we're going to have a coaching clinic for all area coaches all over West Kentucky, and it does include players. They can come see it. We've got about 10 college coaches coming in, including Coach Tiki and Coach Jarvis from here at Murray State. So it should be a big event, and anyone that's interested in baseball, learning more about it, and especially from the coaching aspect of it, it'd be good to come out and to attend it.
And where's this going to be held, and how would someone get information about attending?
It's going to be held over Murray State on the campus at the Curris Center, and if you need more information, we've handed some stuff out here at the schools locally, and they can also pick up registration forms, Denison Hunt. Up in Paducah, they can pick them up at Hibbett Sporting Goods in Mayfield over to Lukowski's, and also down at Ken 10 Sports down in Martin, Tennessee.
Well, while we've got you here, have you started thinking about the baseball season yet, or is it a little early yet?
I started thinking about baseball as soon as the last pitch
I guess it is
thrown, so yeah, it's on my mind pretty much all the time.
Well, thanks for coming up and talking to us, and we're glad to publicize that and hope people will attend that. Sounds like a wonderful clinic for baseball.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the chance to talk to you.
Coach Eddie Morris of the Callaway County Laker baseball team coming up and telling us about the coaching clinic coming up. About 1 minute and 51 seconds left. I guess I should say precisely 1 minute and 51 seconds left to go before the beginning of the second half. Tracy, let's take a quick look at the statistics. Didn't get a chance to do that. Okay, Tracy, you got those.
Yeah, for Callaway County, and these are the official stats for the first half. Leading the way, Brad Kleber with 9. A very balanced attack, chipping in with 5 apiece. Chad Darnell and Brad Duncan with 4 each. Thomas Hornbuckle, Tyler Bohannon, and Wesley Cogdale, and chipping in with 3, Brent Anderson. For Murray High School, a different story. Only 4 players scored. Chris Allen with 13, Jeremiah Rabin with 8, Foster with 7, and James Curtis with 2, John.
So a pretty balanced attack for both squads. Neither team with any really outstanding scores except for Chris Allen with double digits there. Chris Allen James Curtis comes out in a black t-shirt, so I don't know. I assume that's just a practice warm-up thing. But Tracy, we came into this game not really knowing what to expect, and it was a very quickly paced game. The teams were running back and forth up and down the court, but not a real high-scoring game, as on this pace it would end up somewhere in the 65-point range for either team. So it's been a very interesting game. 3-point shots have played a pretty big role for both teams. Callaway has 3 3-pointers, 1 each by Anderson, Cleaver, and Darnell. On the other hand, Murray has a couple of three-pointers, both of those coming by Chris Allen. The inside game has been very big. Tyler Bohannon for the Lakers, and of course James Foster for the Tigers. But key to the game, James Foster, like you said, has not really been in the offense in this game as much as he has in some others. He averages 30 points a game, but the Lakers have been able to keep him out as a potent force with only 6 this game.
Well, John, he has 7. Even if he goes nuts and scores 13 in the second half, he's still only going to have 20. So, Murray High School's got to be concerned about that. They need Foster to score more points, especially with only 4 people scoring in that whole first half of play.
And they're both teams about to come back out onto the court, and here we go for another exciting half of action.
34-30, Callaway County leads. They're going to have the first ball as Hornbuckle inbounds at midcourt. He's back in the game for Callaway. He gives up to Anderson in backcourt, and Henderson gives it back to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle says, if I'm in the game, I'm running the show. Cahoon guarding him as he crosses the timeline, looping pass to Anderson in the near corner. Anderson being double-teamed by Foster and Curtis, swings it back to the top of the key and dumps it off to Cleaver. Cleaver thought about the 3, now dumps it back to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle has it at the top of the key, swings it back to Cleaver. Three-pointer is no good. Off the front of the iron, a board coming down to Foster. Murray going right to left on your dial. Foster gives it up to Curtis. Curtis crosses midcourt. He's being picked up by Hornbuckle. 7:28 to go in the third quarter. Curtis looking around. Callaway County in the zone now. They're in the, looks like a 1-3-1 zone for Callaway. Hornbuckle on Curtis. Curtis swings it back around to Allen. Allen being guarded by Cleaver. Back to Curtis, and Curtis swings it around to Cahoon. Beautiful entry pass into Foster. Finds Allen wide open on the wing. No good. Rebound by Jeremiah Rayburn. Puts it up and no good. Foster up and in.
Got something on the court now. The official stops the play. Looks like a business reply mail card or something like that, doesn't it? About that size?
Looks like it. 34-32, Callaway leading. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter of play as Anderson gives it up to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle resets the offense. Hornbuckle crossing midcourt. He's being guarded by Cahoon now, and he dumps it off to Cogdale. Cogdale back to Hornbuckle, drives through the middle of the lane and passes off to Cleaver. Cleaver swings the ball back around the top of the key. Bohannon meets Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle gives it to Cleaver. He drives the baseline, puts it up and in from 6 feet. Brad Cleaver has 11, and Callaway leads 36-32.
Cleaver's already the leading scorer of the game, and he's taking charge again in the second half, looks like.
Yeah, but Foster's not far behind him as Curtis drives through the lane and finds a wide open Jeremiah Rayburn. Up and in. Rayburn has 10. Callaway going left to right. Hornbuckle crosses midcourt now. He's being guarded by Cahoon. Murray in the 2-3 zone. Hornbuckle stands with the ball in his hip just inside the circle. He swings it back around to Cogdale. Cogdale back to Hornbuckle, playing a little two-man game. Back to Cogdale again, back to Hornbuckle. They're tossing it back and forth. Hornbuckle now drives to the left corner, picks up his dribble and gives it up to Bohannon. Now back to Hornbuckle. He tries to drive, but is cut off by Cahoon. Bohannon has it in the high post. Stolen from behind, but picked back up by Cogdale. Puts a shot up and in. Wesley Cogdale with his 6th point. As Foster has the ball, being guarded in the backcourt by Anderson. Now cross-court pass to Curtis. Curtis to Foster. Foster almost lost the handle, but gets it to Rayburn. Wide open from the left corner. It's no good. Rimming out. Cahoon with the rebound. Swings it back to Allen. Allen stands driving the right baseline. Puts a shot up and in off the glass. Chris Allen has 15. And Hornbuckle crosses midcourt. He's being met by Curtis. Hornbuckle between the legs dribble. Gives it over to Cogdale. Cogdale standing on the far sideline. Cross-court pass to Anderson. Being picked up by Foster. Hornbuckle has it to the top of the key. Splits the defenders. Puts it up and in from 3 feet.
Nice paint move by Hornbuckle.
Beautiful play as Curtis brings it back the other way from Murray High. Picks up his dribble. Gives it over to Cahoon. Wide open three-pointer. No good. Missed everything. Foster puts it back up and in for Murray. Foster has 11. Hornbuckle brings the ball up the court for Callaway. They lead 40-38, 4:52 to go in the third quarter of play. Tyler Bohannon has it in the right corner. He gives it back up to Anderson. Anderson swings it back, and we have a foul called against James Curtis. That'll be his second. They called him for the block, John, and that could have gone either way.
Yeah, that's got Coach Kerry Miller waving his hand and shaking his head. He doesn't get as emotional as some coaches, but he's as mad as he's going to get. You can hear him listen to him.
Oh boy, Hornbuckle's going to inbounds the ball here on the near sideline. He gets it into Anderson in the backcourt, who immediately gives it back up to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle met by Curtis, driving through the middle of the lane again, puts it up and in. I believe he took steps, but they're calling a foul instead.
That's Curtis again, I think.
Yeah, it is Curtis. That's his third foul. I don't know if they gave the basket to Hornbuckle or not. I don't think they did.
They did not, but that's Curtis's fourth foul.
And that's big. He's the playmaker for Murray High. He runs their offensive attack.
Well, this could be a swinging point in the game.
It really could.
Very well could be.
As Cleaver inbounds the ball under Callaway's basket, he finds Bohannon in the left corner. He swings it back around the Hornbuckle. Now Anderson has it, finds Cleaver in the right corner, dumps it back inside to Cogdale. A little 8-foot shot is good. Wesley Cogdale has 8 points, and Callaway leads 42-38. Picked off now by Cogdale, drives down and dishes. Beautiful play to Cleaver, up and in.
That was the old 3D move, drive, dish, and draw.
Cahoon now running the show for Murray. He gets it up to Allen. Allen, three-pointer from the right corner, no good. Air ball. Foster puts it up and in for Murray. Foster starting to take over Murray's offensive attack as Cleaver brings it back the other way for Callaway. He stands at the right corner and gives it to Hornbuckle. He stands at the top of the key, being guarded by Cahoon. Pushing foul now called against Chris Allen of Murray.
Wow, that was away from the ball. That was way away from the ball.
That's Allen's third foul, John.
It is. This is interesting. Well, I mean, I didn't see it, so it very well could have happened, but that was a strange call.
Murray High visibly rattled. They're going to call a timeout, and we'll take one, too. 44-40 Callaway. Along with John Rose, I'm Tracy Ross on WNBS Sports.
Parker Ford, Lincoln Mercury, and Murray is your truck headquarters. Head on over to Parker Ford today and take a look at their lot full of tough trucks. The F-Series, America's best-selling truck, Ford Rangers, the best-selling compact truck in America, the new Splash, the Explorer, the Bronco, and Ford Econoline, the best-selling full-size van for 13 years. From extended cabs to compacts to vans, Parker Ford has them all. Visit Parker Ford, Lincoln Mercury today at 701 Main Street in Murray.
And we're back at Murray High at Tiger Gymnasium. Callaway County leading 44-40 with 3:59 to go in the third quarter, John.
Fouls are going to be a big turning point in the ball game, I think, for the Tigers. They already have 3 fouls with almost exactly half the third quarter over with, so it looks like they're going to be in foul trouble early. And plus, not to mention the fact that point guard James Curtis has 4. Now Allen has 3. Fouls are really going to be a factor for the Tigers.
Wes Cogley's been quite a spark for Callaway, starting in place of Darnell. Hornbuckle gets the ball into the backcourt to Anderson, and Anderson's picked up by West in the backcourt. Anderson splits the timeline, dumps the ball off to Cleaver, almost lost the handle. He's trapped in the corner by Allen. Nice dribble move around him. He picks up his dribble, though, as Foster comes out to get him. He dumps the ball off to Hornbuckle. He's being guarded by Cahoon. Hornbuckle walks the ball around to the right side, swings it back over to Cleaver, who stands at the hash mark on the far corner. Foster picks up Cleaver about 30 feet from the basket. Cogdale in the left corner finds Bohannon in the high post, who swings around to Anderson, but West is there. Anderson drives towards the basket, lays it up, and no good. Rebound coming down to Murray High. I believe that foul is against Cogdale.
Indeed it is.
That's Cogdale's first foul. They got him for pushing against Allen, and Allen will inbounds the ball for Murray underneath Callaway's basket. Into Cahoon. Cahoon runs up the far corner. He's being guarded by Anderson in the backcourt. Gets away from the trap, stands at the timeline, and gives the ball up to Allen. Three-pointer is no good. Rebounded by Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle dumps it off to Anderson, who races down the near sideline. Between the dribble move by Cleaver, three-pointer is good. Brad Cleaver is unconscious. And Callaway with his biggest lead, 47-40. West being pressured in the backcourt. Triple team, gets it off to Allen. Allen drives through the lane, puts up a little 4-footer off the glass, up and in. Chris Allen. 47-42 Callaway, 2:53 to go in the third quarter of play. As Cleaver's going to inbounds the ball under Murray's basket, being guarded by Foster. Cleaver running the baseline after the made shot, gives it into Cogdale, he gives it to Hornbuckle. They split the defense, and Hornbuckle stands at the top of the key, finally dumping the ball off to Cleaver. Cleaver guarded by Foster. Interesting move by Murray to put Foster on Cleaver.
Guess he's not going to shoot at the 3 that way.
That's true. Anderson has the ball at the top of the key. He's standing in the circle, guarded by West. West has been on him like glue all night. Cogdale now stands at the near sideline. He's guarded by Rayburn. Hornbuckle walking the ball back towards the top of the key. Tries to give the ball to Anderson, but Anderson's covered too heavily, so he dumps it off to Cleaver instead. Callaway playing on the perimeter. They don't have anyone in the lane now, as Murray's really stepped up his defensive effort. Finally, Hornbuckle trying to get something going, gives it to Anderson, passes up the 3, puts up a 2-footer from 18, no good. But we have a foul on Allen. I believe that's number 4.
Indeed it is. Some serious foul trouble now for Murray High. And Coach Miller just stands up and smiles and looks at the official and says, whatever.
This is big. With 2:11 left to go, Allen's going to have to sit out.
Indeed he will. Ethan Crumb's going to come back in the ball game now.
Ethan, an excellent defender, just like his brother Bart. As Allen takes a seat now. For Murray High, it's Cahoon, Crum, West, Rayburn, and Foster. Two of their starters sitting on the bench. Calloway counters with Anderson, Bohannon, Cogdale, Cleaver, and Thomas Hornbuckle. They're starting five, and they've gone most of the way for Calloway.
Callaway County's only shot 5 free throws tonight, but of those 5, they have hit them all. So free throws are really helping the Lakers right now. In fact, that's the margin of that the Lakers are ahead by. Now 6.
First shot is up and in by Brent Anderson, giving him 4 points on the night. He's got another coming to him. And we have a timeout by Murray High School with 2:11 to go in the third quarter of play. Murray calls a timeout. We'll be right back on WNBS Sports.
Are you looking for that special gift but don't want to give what everyone else is? You'll find it at one of the most unsuspecting places in Murray, Holland Drugs. That's right, Holland Drugs. The people who provide fresh, on-time pharmaceuticals have a complete gift shop with cards, Christmas decorations, candles, rugs, baskets, picture frames, and a whole lot more. Don't forget, the gift shop of Holland Drugs in downtown Murray.
And we're back at Tiger Gymnasium, Murray High School, home of the Murray High Tigers. They trailed the visiting Callaway County Lakers 48-42 with 2:11 to go in the third quarter. I'm Tracy Ross along with John Rose on WNBS.
Tracy, like we said, fouls are going to be playing a big role in the game now. James Curtis, the point guard, out with 4 fouls for the Tigers. Chris Allen, the big forward, already with 17 points in this game, is out with 4 fouls. They have 4 fouls on the half so far, and only less than 6 minutes left in the third quarter, so that is really going to hurt the Tigers down the stretch, and Coach Green has to be smiling at that fact.
And certainly, John, Murray High looks a lot shorter without Allen and Curtis out there.
Indeed they do.
Anderson's got another going to him. He toes the line, puts on the spin, and the second shot is up, and it's good. Brent Anderson with another free throw. Callaway leading 49-47, tying their biggest lead of the game. It's picked off by Cleaver. Pulls up from 3. No good off the front of the iron. Rebound comes down to Crum. Baseball pass to Rayburn. Lays it up and in.
That was a great fast break with Murray.
That was. Now it's stolen by Murray. Crum back to Rayburn. Now stolen by Anderson. He lays it up. Misses the layup. Cogdell with the rebound. Now stolen by Rayburn. He gives it off to West. West dumps it off to Cahoon. Cahoon pressure in the backcourt, and he traveled with it. What a sequence, John.
That is unbelievable. It looked like a jump ball possibly, but yeah, Hornbuckle tied him up. He tried to pass it, and he brought it back down. Cahoon did, so I guess it was a walk, but the crowd really into it now.
Hornbuckle gives it to Anderson backcourt. Anderson pressured by West. He crosses the timeline. Can't find an open man now. He finally gets it to Cleaver. Cleaver finds an open Cogdell in the corner. Three-pointer. Oh, rimmed in and out. Shot put up and no good by Cleaver. And it's going to be Callaway's ball. As they say, it went off the leg of James Foster. Cleaver's going to inbounds the ball for Callaway with 1:29 to go in the third quarter. Callaway leading 49-44. Cleaver into Bohannon. Bohannon swings to the Hornbuckle, top of the key, dribbles around Crum, puts up a little 11-footer, no good. Rebound Cogdell, puts it up and in. Cogdell has 10, and Callaway is up 51-44. Murray inbounds. West pressures in the backcourt by Cogdell. He cross-court pass to Cahoon. Cahoon crosses midcourt, gives up to Raven. The three-point shot is no good off the back of the iron. Rebound coming down to Hornbuckle, over the back, called on Crum.
No doubt about that one. It was a good call.
Check into the game for Callaway's number 10, Darnell, as Cogdell's going to have a seat.
Callaway certainly has momentum right now. You can tell Murray's shook.
I'm a little surprised they're taking Cogdell out. He's been a spark, John.
He really has. They need to rest. He's really played hard.
Inbouncing the ball for Callaway's Cleaver. He fakes the baseball pass, calls a timeout because of the good defense by Murray. And as Callaway takes a timeout, we'll take one too.
Oh, here's the controversy though.
What is it?
I think they called a foul before the timeout was called. Then they're going to give them the timeout too. If I understand this right, yeah, they're going to say that The man guarding the inbounds pass, Foster, slapped at it and fouled. And it will be, should be Callaway ball. And then the timeout called after that. So the timeout not actually going to occur because
okay. But that's Foster's second, I believe.
Yeah, well, looks like a technical foul. It is a technical foul. Has to be. No. Let's see what's going on here. They've got Hornbuckle at the line all by himself. The lane cleared out. Everybody else behind half court. It's on 5. Okay, it is a personal foul against James Foster, so you may have been able to hear it through the crowd microphone here. A personal foul against James Foster. Hornbuckle will be at the line, therefore.
Okay, I believe we got it straightened out. Callaway leading 51-44 with 1:06 to go in the third quarter, and Hornbuckle towing the line. Shot is up and good.
And I wish you could see Coach Kerry Miller all over here talking to his players. He's as mad as he ever gets. And he is really getting with his 5 players in a huddle over here in the near sideline and telling them how it is.
Hornbuckle missed the second one, but Callaway up by 8. The biggest lead of the game at 52-44. Checking in now for Callaway's number 41, Brad Duncan. Duncan sparked the Lakers in the second quarter of play. Hornbuckle will have a seat for the rest of the quarter.
A well-deserved seat.
Duncan inbounds on the far sideline. He gets it into Anderson. 1 minute to go in the third quarter of play as he crosses half court with a beautiful spin move and gets it off to Duncan. Duncan standing way back from the three-point line, finds Darnell. Darnell being guarded by Raven. Darnell backs off now with 54 seconds left to go. He's double-teamed by Foster, almost stolen, controls the dribble, gives it up to Anderson. Anderson triple team, finds a wide-open Duncan. Murray High gets back on defense. Duncan swings it around to Cleaver. Cleaver's on the far sideline, gets it inside to Duncan. Little 4-footer up and off the glass, no good. Rebound comes down by Foster. Baseball pass ahead to Crum, and Crum traveled with it. Couldn't quite keep his footing. And Callaway will get the ball back with 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. Duncan inbounds in the backcourt as West and Crum applying pressure. Now Crum goes off. Murray High playing it as Anderson crosses half court. Now an attempted steal by Foster. Almost got it, but Cleaver flashes to the basket, lays it up, and no good off the front of the rim. And we have a foul against Callaway County. That foul is against number 10 for Callaway. That's Chad Darnell. That's Darnell's third foul of the game with 23 seconds to go in the third quarter. Murray High will inbounds it under Callaway's basket. Ethan Crum to Foster. Foster double-teamed, and he runs up the sideline himself, splits the defense, going towards the hoop, gives it up. Wide open shot by West. No good from three-point land. Anderson has the rebound with 13 seconds left to go. He brings the ball across midcourt. He flashes through the lane, drives in, pulls up from 5, and he's hammered. Absolutely got hacked. I did see the foul was on. Looks like number 11 for Murray.
Jason West.
Jason West. That's his second foul, so with 7 seconds to go in the third quarter, Brent Anderson's going to go to the line with a chance to extend Callaway's lead to 10. Darnell checks out. Ricky Boyle comes back in for the Lakers.
You know, we talked the game hadn't been a high-scoring game, but Callaway has put 18 points on the board so far this period, and they put as many as 20 or even more. Murray's put 14, so the game becoming a little bit more high-scoring.
Looks like we're headed for a game in the 70s at least. First shot is up and in by Anderson. He'll get another. Picks up the ball himself and walks back to the line.
He's 3 for 3 now from the three-point line, the free throw line, rather.
He puts down the dribble, eyes the hoop, and the second shot is up and good. Callaway leads 54-44 with 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Foster pressured, knocks it off the leg of Boyle.
No, he knocked it right off the chest is what he did, and he's going to get called for a flagrant technical on that one. He deserves it. Unsportsmanlike conduct, you probably heard through the crowd mic. What happened there? He tried to, the old trick where you bounce it off the defender. He just threw it full force right into the chest of Anderson, and I don't think there's any doubt about that, Tracy. That warranted that because he could have bounced it off of him, but he just hurled it off his chest.
I don't think he really meant to do it that hard. It wasn't a an opportunity where he was mad or angry. He just really tried to make the play, but the officials are on it tonight, John, and Murray High's physical play is really costing them this affair.
Well, I agree with maybe he didn't mean to, but he cocked back his arm. Cocked back his arm a long way. They're going to give him another one, I believe. Was that a clarification or another technical?
I don't know.
I believe that was just a clarification. They may throw another one. Goes over to talk to Coach Miller, the official does, and he's going to warn him to try to call off James Foster here because Foster is arguing with the official. I think he's suggesting in a kind way to get Foster out of there, and he did. He's out of the game. He got kicked out of the game. That was 2 technicals on James Foster. Indeed, that was not a clarification. That was a technical, and Foster just went to the dressing room.
Back-to-back technical fouls, as is the rule. You're out of the game, and boy, oh boy, can you say the stake in the heart.
Not to mention a 1-game suspension, I do believe.
Shot is up and no good by Duncan.
Well, the Lakers need to make this and capitalize on the opportunity they have here.
I've never really seen a sequence like that, John. And the second shot is up and good by Brad Duncan. Callaway's up by 11 with 7 seconds to go. And now they're going to get the ball back and a chance to have the last shot of this quarter. Anderson in backcourt, guarded by West. 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Shoots it from 3. No good. And at the end of 3 quarters, the Callaway County Lakers lead the Murray High Tigers 55-54. For John Rose, I'm Tracy Ross. We'll be right back.
Christmas is almost here, and the Bank of Murray says a special thank you to all their friends. Stop by the annual holiday rooms at the 3 Bank of Murray locations. Enjoy some delicious punch, hot coffee, and your favorite cookies December 22nd and 23rd. And kids, don't forget, Santa will be downtown at the Bank of Murray's main office lobby from noon to 4, December 22nd and 23rd. Have a free picture taken with him. Compliments to the Bank of Murray. Member FDIC.
And we're back at Tiger Gymnasium of Murray High School as the Callaway County Lakers leading the game 55-44. And John, what do you think about that last little sequence of plays?
That was one of the most unusual sequences I've ever seen. Just to recap, Brent Anderson was guarding James Foster on the inbounds pass, and Foster could not get in a pass, so he just threw it off of Anderson, which is not that uncommon. But what he did, he cocked back his arm and just hurled it in the chest of Anderson. The official immediately jumped on that one and called a technical foul. And then I don't know if he called the second technical. The first one was unsportsmanlike conduct, a technical foul, and anyway, Foster left. He must have called the second technical or asked that he leave because Foster is no longer in the gymnasium.
Meanwhile, Murray High has the ball as they're in their offense. Rayburn has the ball at the top of the key, guarded by Anderson. Swings it over to West. Cahoon passes up the 3 in the left corner, pulls up from 12 and cans it. Murray cuts the lead to 9 at 55-46.
That's Cahoon's first 2 of the night.
Hornbuckle brings the ball across midcourt, drives through the lane, unmolested for the layup. It's good. Callaway up 57-46.
James Curtis will come back in at the next break.
Cahoon up ahead to Crum. Crum off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound, tries to tap it in, comes down to Allen. Allen misses the shot, and Cleaver comes down with the ball for Callaway, off to Bohannon. Now Anderson has the ball. He's walking the ball up the near sideline. He's double-teamed at half court, but he dumps the ball off to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle standing in the far corner, being guarded by Allen. Beautiful dribble between the legs, dumps it off to Darnell, passes up the three-point shot, gives it back to Hornbuckle, and now Brad Cleaver has the ball at the top of the key. Hornbuckle in the high post, being guarded by Rayburn, goes around his man, pulls up from 6, passes the ball off to Anderson. Anderson gets it back out to Hornbuckle, and Callaway is in no hurry to score now, John. They're in the spread offense. Oh, flake, or a bad pass. Bohannon gets the ball, laid it up and in. What happened on that play was a bad pass, but Cleaver got the ball, passed it into Bohannon, and he laid it up and in. And we have a foul against Callaway.
That should be against Thomas Hornbuckle, and if that is, I believe it will be his 4th. See if the call does. No, it goes against 2-2, which would be...
That's Brent Anderson's 3rd, I guess. Coming out of the game for Murray is Jason West. Played some tough D in there, but failed to score. But now their playmakers back in. James Curtis. This should give him a better look, John, as Curtis immediately finds Allen wide open for 3. He passes it up and is fouled by Darnell.
4 for Darnell.
4 on Darnell. And Cogdale will check back in for the Lakers. Darnell will have a seat on the pine. You know, in my opinion, John, the lineup out there now has been the most effective, explosive lineup for the Lakers tonight. That's their starting five. Cogdale's added another element to this team.
Definitely. A couple have come along like Brad Duncan and Darnell and added something to it, but the starting five is definitely the best that's played tonight.
Cahoon gets the ball stripped by Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle leading a 3-on-1 break. Finds Cleaver wide open. Up and I believe
Hornbuckle with a charge without the ball, it looked like.
Well, if that's a charge, that's it for Hornbuckle.
Let's see. That is his fourth foul.
Well, I thought it was foul. I guess that's number 4 on Hornbuckle now. 6:22 to go in the game. Callaway leading 59-46. Murray High inbounds it. Curtis being double-teamed in the backcourt by Anderson. Cleaver throws it away. Intercepted by Hornbuckle. Now Cleaver wide open, and that one's good. Callaway leading 61-46. Allen driving lane for Murray. Puts up a little one-handed running shot. It's good. Substitutions coming into the game. Brad Duncan coming in for Callaway County. And Thomas Hornbuckle is going to have a seat on the bench with his 4th foul. So Duncan, Bohannon, Cleaver, Cogdale, and Anderson, the 5 for Callaway. Baseball pass run down by Tyler Bohannon. Reverse layup up and in. Beautiful play by Tyler Bohannon. Showboat. Get the mustard off that hot dog, Mom. Meanwhile, Curtis runs back the other way. Gets to Raven in the low post. He's fouled going up. And he'll go to the line.
That'll be on Cogdale, his second.
Indeed it is. Callaway leading 63-48 with 5:50 to go in the ball game. John?
I would have never guessed it earlier in the game. Murray came out in control, but I'll tell you what, since halftime, it's been all Callaway.
Well, I mean, for Murray, basically, their best player is out of the game, and their other 2 players, Curtis has 3, Allen has 4. What do you expect, I guess? Ricky Boyle checking in for Callaway, and Tyler Bohannon will have a seat.
Jeremiah Rayburg sinks his first. That makes him 1 of 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Rayburn has 13. Second shot is up and no good, but rebounded by Allen. He lays it up and in. Chris Allen with 2 more. Murray cuts it to 63-51, and they're applying the full court pressure. Now they're going to back off as Cleaver brings the ball across half court, passes it off to Cogdale. Cogdale back to Cleaver. He stands at the top of the key. Ricky Boyle standing at the perimeter now, dumps it back off to Cogdale on the far sideline. He's guarded by Allen. Cuts the defenders, drives in towards the basket, now brings it back out. Callaway spreading the court a bit. Anderson picked up by Crum. Anderson and Crum at the top of the key. He dumps it off to Boyle. Beautiful baseball pass inside to Cogdale. Up and in. Callaway leads 65-51. Coming back the other way, Curtis gets it to Crum. Driving towards the basket. Pulls up from 4. It's good. Crum's first points of the night. Murray cuts it back to 13, 65, or rather 12 at 65-53 with 4:59 to go in the game. And I do believe there's a charging call against Callaway.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're calling against Boyle, I guess. See what the call is. No, it is. It is Curtis. He's out of there.
Well. And James Curtis fouls out of the game, the second Murray High Tiger to lead this contest. Boy, oh boy, John, have you ever seen a game of this magnitude so plagued by fouls?
Well, especially on the part of the Murray High Tigers. Lakers have been somewhat plagued by fouls, but Murray High bearing the brunt of it tonight.
But that aggressive play that they have, some nights it really pays off, and some nights it doesn't.
You could complain at Razor Arena, but at your home court, you can hardly complain about the officiating.
That's true, that's true. Jason West checks back in for Murray to take the place of Curtis. So Murray High is going to have to make it with only 3 starters on the court. They're 2 of their 3 best players sitting on the bench. It's Rayburn, Allen, Crum, Cahoon, and West, the 5 from Murray High School. As Brent Anderson steps to the line for Callaway, first shot is up and good. Callaway leading 66-53 with just under 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
And Anderson is 5 of 5 for the Stripes. Hasn't hit anything but the bottom of the net any of those 5 times.
And he puts down the dribble on the second shot. Eyes the basket. Second shot on its way and rolls in. Got the shooter's roll.
Got iron that time, but 6 for 6.
And the ball comes in to Cahoon at midcourt. Beautiful cross-court pass to Allen. Pulls up from 3. It's good. Chris Allen.
Makes it 67-56, an 11-point lead for the Lakers.
This game is
4:47
definitely not over as Anderson splits the D and finds Boyle, who tries to pass inside to Cogdell off the arm of Jason West. Out of bounds, Callaway's ball with 4:43 to go in the contest. Cleaver will inbounds under Callaway's basket. It's Cleaver, Boyle, Duncan, Cogdell, and Anderson, the 5 for Callaway. Pass into Duncan. Duncan walks it back out to the top of the key. He's guarded by West. Gets it into the hands of Cleaver. Cleaver drives around his man, and he puts it up and in from 5 feet. 2 more for Cleaver. Callaway back up 69-56. Allen running the baseline for Murray High. Puts up a little 3-footer. No good. Rebound comes down to Boyle, and Anderson has it underneath Murray High's goal. He's being guarded by Allen. He splits the defense, crosses half court, dumps it off to Duncan. Duncan swings it back around to Cleaver, who finds Boyle at the top of the key. Over to Anderson, thought about the 3, but thought better of it. Now he walks the ball back around to the top of the key. He's being guarded by Raven. Dumps the ball off to Boyle. Boyle to Cogdell. Cogdell being guarded by Crum. Back off to Boyle. Callaway tossing the ball around the perimeter. Now get it to Cleaver. Cleaver drives the lane, misses the layup off of Allen's head, and it's going to be Callaway County's ball.
Callaway County just really in control right now. They're in no hurry to score. They got the 13-point lead, and they have a timeout on the court.
Murray calls a timeout. We'll take one, too. Callaway County up 69-56. We'll be right back.
Pioneer Convenience Mart now has 2 locations to better serve you. One in Lynn Grove and the other at 618 South 4th Street next to Lyons Electric. Both Pioneer Convenience Marts carry a full line of convenience items, including milk, bread, snacks, ice cream, soft drinks, and fountain drinks, and fresh deli sandwiches. Pioneer also carries great brands of gasoline at great prices. Pioneer Convenience Mart, there's one near you. Make it a habit to visit the Pioneer Convenience nearest you.
Welcome back to Murray High School Gymnasium. 69-56, a 13-point lead for the Callaway County Lakers with 3:55 left to go in the game. Already out of the game is, let's see, Foster. James Foster for the Murray High Tigers with a technical foul, booted out of the game. Also out of the game is Chris Allen, the leading make that James Curtis, the leading playmaker for the Murray High Tigers. The big dog for Murray High in there now is Chris Allen with 24 points, but he can't do it alone. He's having trouble as the Lakers very much in control of this ball game right now. Leading the scorers for the Lakers are Brad Cleaver with 20 so far.
Cleaver will inbounds under the Lakers' basket with 3:55 to go in the game. Callaway up 69-56. He gets the ball into Cogdell, who swings it around to Hornbuckle back in the game. Hornbuckle walks the ball towards half court. He's guarded by Cahoon. Over to the hands of Boyle. Boyle finds Anderson the near sideline. He's guarded by Allen. And we have a foul called against Chris Allen, and that's it for Chris Allen.
He knew it. He didn't even look at the official. He just started walking toward the sideline.
What do you say when your 3 best players all foul out of the game, John?
Well, actually, 2 fell out and 1 thrown out, so,
yeah.
But they're all out anyway, so that pretty much puts icing on the cake. Now, there's 3:43 left to go. I mean, it wouldn't be impossible for the Tigers to come back, but you've got to think with their arguably the 3 best players out that they really are going to have a hard time if they do, because they have a lot of inexperience out there now where they had experience out there before.
Devon Ballard checks in for Murray High, seeing his first action of the night. And actually, John, you have to say Murray High must go to Jeremiah Rayburn now. He seems to happy to focus on their offense.
He's the go-to guy, but he needs to go inside. He's been playing out of 3-point range lately, and he can't hit any 3-pointers tonight, or hasn't had any luck so far, so he needs to get inside. He's tall.
Shot from Anderson's up and good.
7 of 7 for Brent Anderson from the 3-point line, 10 points total. The free throw line, I believe.
He'll get another. He puts down the dribble as Bohannon stands at half court. Bends the knees. The second shot's on its way, and it's good, too.
8-4-8.
Brent Anderson has 11. Murray High running out of time. 71-56 Callaway. West passes over to Cahoon. Cahoon being guarded by Anderson. Back to West. West standing at the top of the key, guarded by Cleaver. He swings it back to Cahoon. Cahoon drives the lane, puts up an 8-footer. It rolls in and around and drops in for Damon Cahoon. Callaway inbounds. Anderson being guarded by Cahoon. He dribbles between the legs, breaks the defense, running up the near sideline. He's triple teamed, and he lost the handle. And
that official just tears me up. He's really into it.
Oh boy.
Going that way!
In any case, it's Callaway's ball as Hornbuckle inbounds it here on the near sideline. Finally gets the ball into Bohannon. Bohannon gives it back to Thomas. And he brings it across half court. He's being guarded by Ballard. He finds Tyler Bohannon in the high post now. And swung back around to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle driving the baseline, now pulls it back out. He stands at the right elbow, being guarded by West. Pass over to Cleaver. Cleaver, beautiful pass inside to Bohannon, up and in.
Well, that's just money when you give it Tyler Bohannon down low unguarded. You might as well just give him two.
And near steal by Hornbuckle as Callaway's doing everything right. They're up 73 to 58.
And Dr. Roger Haney almost got his head taken off up there in the stands by the basketball, but he's okay.
Oh, boy. Murray High gets the ball to Cahoon. Cahoon drives in, puts a running one-handed shot up. Beautiful play by Cahoon. He has 6, and Murray cuts the lead back to 13 at 73-60, but Bohannon almost dunked it.
A wide open layup by Tyler Bohannon on the fast break.
Bohannon almost stuck it through. James Foster, he ain't, but he did score the basket as Callaway leads 75-60 with 2:20 to go in the game. West stands at the near sideline, dumps it off to Ballard. Ballard being guarded by Cogdale. Swung back to West. He walks it back to the top of the key. Gets by his man. Wide open, Ballard in the corner. Three-pointer is no good. It rims out. Tapped up and in by Rayburn. Jeremiah Rayburn with the basket. Callaway running back the other way. Anderson running the far sideline. Goes all the way in, and he's fouled. That foul against Murray High. We'll see who they give it to.
Jeremiah Rayburn.
And it's only Rayburn's second, so I don't think he's in danger of fouling out. Seems like Anderson's pinned to the line a bunch tonight, John. He's been fouled a whole lot in this game as timeout's being taken by Callaway. 2:02 to go in the game. Callaway up 75-62. Tracy Ross and John Rose for WNBS.
When you can't find high or low and the gears won't hold, when your ship is at the levee in a deep muddy hole, there's a simple solution, your transmission decision, Precision Transmission.
Prevent costly transmission trouble with Precision Transmission's TransTune Special. For just $19.95, they'll inspect your transmission, change the fluid, and make any necessary adjustments. So don't delay.
Call Precision Transmission.
200 North 4th Street, Murray, and 3315 Park Avenue, Paducah.
And with 2:02 left to go in the game, Callaway County leading 75-62. Along with John Rose, I'm Tracy Ross at Tiger Gymnasium. And John, we've seen a clinic put on by Callaway County, and Murray High has really committed a lot of fouls.
Yeah, Callaway has really dominated this fourth quarter, actually the whole second half. But part of that, of course, is due to the fouling of Murray High School. James Curtis, the leading playmaker, the point guard, fouled out. Chris Allen, the high-scoring forward, averaging 20 points a game, has 24 tonight, fouled out. James Foster was ejected from the contest after a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. And I mean, part of it is due to the wonderful play of the Lakers for sure, but the Tigers' top 3 players fouling out didn't hurt anything.
That's true, John. I mean, there's really not much you can say. Chris Cheney, of course, with the busted knee, not even in the game for Murray. So it could be argued that Murray's top 4 players projected coming into the year aren't in the game now. So Callaway capitalizing, though, as Anderson steps to the line. The first free throw is on its way. And good. He hasn't missed tonight.
But that's one thing that the Lakers are really doing right, and the reason they're where they are is free throw shooting. Brent Anderson now is 9 of 9 on the night.
He gets one more with 2:02 to go. Callaway up 76-62. Second shot dribbles down. He eyes the basket. It's on its way, and it's good.
He's 10 of 10, and the Lakers are 17 of 19 from the free throw line tonight. Uncanny.
Doesn't get any better than that, I guess. Cahoon fakes out the defenders at the top of the key, passes back to Crummel on the baseline. He dumps it back out to Cahoon, wide open from 3, no good. Rebound comes down to Cleaver. Cleaver passes across to Anderson, knocked out of bounds by Ballard. Callaway will inbounds with 1:47 to go. Callaway going left to right. Cleaver into Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle picked up by West. Hornbuckle's fouled by, I believe, Crum. Depends on who they want to give it to, Crum or West. Looks like West gets the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And Thomas Hornbuckle steps to the line now for Callaway. Well, for the first time in about 10 minutes, it seems, Brent Anderson is not at the line for the Lakers.
That's right. But that is an unbelievable statistic. If my count is correct, and let me try it again. Yep, 17 of 19 free throw shooting for the Lakers. Now, of course, you can say that the fouls had an effect on Murray High in that the players leave the game, but the free throw shooting the Lakers is what made it count.
Shot by Hornbuckle up and good. He gets one more, and Callaway's heading towards the 80-point mark.
78-62. 79.
79 as Hornbuckle hits the second one. Murray High inbounds the ball to West. He crosses midcourt and dumps it to Cahoon. Cahoon being picked up by Hornbuckle. Back to West. He's guarded by Cleaver. West now double teamed as Calloway gets him in a trap. Almost picked it off as Cleaver dove out of bounds with the ball. Murray High ball with a minute 33 left to go in the game. And the substitutions continue for Callaway County. Coming into the game is Jay Herndon for Callaway. Coming out is Wesley Cogdell, who really sparked the Lakers tonight. Big performance by Wesley Cogdell. I've got him down for 12 points. Also coming in for Callaway, number 40.
David Green.
David Green coming in the game. Thomas Hornbuckle sitting out. A sign by Coach Green that this game is over. Driving the lane is Ballard. He lays it up and in for Murray, his first 2 points of the night. Cleaver running the baseline, gets the ball inbounds to Bohannon. It's knocked out of bounds by Murray. Still Callaway's ball. As now Herndon will inbounds the ball for Callaway on the far sideline. Herndon looking for a man. Finally finds Anderson. Anderson being guarded in the backcourt. He caught the trap, and it's almost picked off by Ballard, and I believe we have Anderson for the foul. That's his fourth foul. And it's really elementary at this point in the game as Callaway leading 79-64 with only a minute 16 left to go in the game. Devon Ballard stepping in line for Murray High School. Ballard has 2 points on the night.
While we're talking about free throw statistics, we'll get that in a minute. Callaway is 13 of 14. No. 14 of 16 in the second half. Murray is 2 of 3.
That's the ball game right there. Second shot, dribble is down. It's on its way, and it's good. Devon Ballard has 4. Murray cuts the lead to 79-66. And Cleaver's fouled in backcourt by, I believe, Crum.
Was Ethan Crum on the foul? That'll send Brad Cleaver to the line. He has only shot 2 free throws tonight, but he has sunk them both.
You know, actually, 79-66, a 13-point game is not really bad considering the foul trouble Murray High's been in all night. Cleaver stepping in line. The first shot's on its way, and it's good.
His 21st point.
Callaway has not missed their free throws tonight.
Lakers 20 of 22 here in the second half.
Dribbles down by Cleaver. Second shot is on its way, and it's good as well. Brad Cleaver makes them both. Cahoon walks the ball up the court for Murray High. Cahoon cross-court pass. Three-point shot is up and no good.
Jay Herndon
by Clay Bowen. And Bowen will step to the line. I guess he'll get 3.
He should. He was beyond the three-point line. Well, that's not going to be on Jay Herndon. That's on David Green.
Green's first. Clay Bowen, the senior guard from Murray High School, has yet to score on the night. He puts down the dribble. The first shot's on its way, and it's good. 81-67. Callaway leading with just over a minute to go in the contest.
Jeremiah Rayburn squatting. He is really hurting right now. He's played almost the whole game, and he is tired.
Bowen makes them both, and Rayburn is just huffing and puffing over there. With all the foul trouble, I don't think he's been out of the game yet, Jimmy.
I don't believe he has. He's played the whole game as far as I can remember.
And the third one is also good. He made them all 3. Suddenly it's a 12-point game, 81-69, with 1 minute to go in the game, and it's picked off by Bowen. Bowen racing up the far sideline, being picked up by Anderson in backcourt. He gets it ahead to Cahoon. Cahoon in the right corner over to Ballard. Ballard drives the lane. 5-footer is good. Ballard has 6. It's a 10-point game suddenly with 45 seconds left to go. Hornbuckle has it on the far sideline. He's double-teamed, splits the defense, and dumps it back out to Tyler Bohannon, standing in the circle. And it's now picked off from Murray again. Ballard drives through the lane, lays it up and in. So it's an 8-point game with 30 seconds left to go in the contest. Murray High takes the timeout. We'll do the same. For John Rose, I'm Tracy Ross on WNBS.
Hi, this is Bessie at Owens Food Market. And although I'm not Mrs. Claus, At Owens, we believe we are Santa's helpers, getting you ready for holiday eating and celebrating. Come on in right now and be merry while you save on these specials. 50 Farms Whole Country Ham, $1.59 a pound. MG Yellow Wrapper Hams, shank half, $1.59 a pound, and butt half, $1.79 a pound. You don't have to go to the North Pole to see Santa's helpers at work. Just come to Owens and save, West Main Street, Murray.
And we're back at Tiger Gymnasium. 30 seconds left to go in the game. Callaway's lead suddenly only 8 at 81-73, and John Murray really had a gutty comeback here.
They have, really. They were down at one point by 15, and they've come back. It is a 12-point game right now. No, it's an 8-point game right now, so they've made a big comeback with 30 seconds left to go in the contest. You really have to think there's probably not enough time, but you never know.
Well, if there's such a thing as a moral victory, I guess Murray will earn one tonight. With their top 3 players fouling out of the game, they will not be embarrassed on this night by the Lakers. Callaway inbounds the ball. Cleaver underneath Murray High's basket. He's being guarded by Cahoon on the baseline. Cleaver looking for an open man. Gets it into Anderson. Anderson picks up the dribble. Cross-court pass to Cleaver. Cleaver being guarded by Bolin, and he's fouled. 25 seconds left to go. Cleaver will go to the line, try to add to his point total. He's leading Callaway in points, I believe, with 22 on the night.
Try to add to that interesting free throw statistic, too. He's 4 of 4.
And I believe if he makes both of these, he can tie Chris Allen for the game-high honors.
You're right. Allen has 24 right now. Cleaver has 22, so 2 would give him 24.
2% of the dribble. First shot is up and good.
23 of 25 free throw shooting for the Lakers tonight.
I've never seen a free throw performance quite like this by Callaway or any other team, with the exception of maybe Marshall County a few years ago.
This is an exhibition.
And it's good as well.
It's good.
Sounds like a broken record, but we like the sound of it as Callaway's up 83-73, 21 seconds left to go. Clay Bolin driving the lane for Murray High. He puts it up. It's no good, but he's fouled, I believe, by Tyler Bohannon.
Tyler's first foul tonight, interestingly enough. As physical as the low post has been tonight, especially with Foster down in there and Allen driving in and Jeremiah Rayburn, it's a wonder that Tyler Bohannon hasn't picked up a foul yet tonight. That's a credit to his patience.
That's true, and you mentioned Allen. Allen only played a little over, I guess about half the game is what it'll amount to, a little over 2 quarters, and he scored 24 points. He was on a pace tonight to really light it up. It's up and good by Bolin. It's not that Murray High hasn't made their free throws, they just haven't taken as many as Callaway. I don't think they've missed many tonight either.
11, 12. No, they're 11 of 12. Unbelievable for both teams.
Second shot is also good. 83-75 with 18 seconds left into Cleaver. Cleaver passes up ahead to Anderson. Anderson standing at half court. He's fouled again by Clay Bolin. He'll go to the line where he's been automatic tonight.
He can keep up this hot shooting. He's 10 of 10 right now. Yeah, the game's over with as far as deciding who's going to win, but just a matter of a few more free throws probably.
Anderson stepping to the line, trying to add to Callaway's 8-point lead. First shot is on its way, and it's good, but there's a lane violation. So mark that off, Murray High's ball. Rick Anderson's a little upset. Wanted to pad that scoring average a little. Cahoon across to Crum. Crum dumps it to Ballard. 3-pointer by Ballard is no good off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Cahoon. He drives in, finds a wide open Clay Bolin. 3-pointer, no good. Darnell has it, throws it late to the court. This game's over. The Callaway County Lakers have defeated the Murray High School Tigers by a score of 83-75. For John Rose, I'm Tracy Ross. We'll take this break on WNBS Sports.
What do you do when you got a broken windshield? There's only one thing to do. Take it to Williams Radiator and Glass on Chestnut Street. I'm Larry England, and I have known for years that Tommy Caraway and the gang at Williams Radiator and Glass use original equipment in all domestic cars, and they guarantee the job to be just like new. So don't run around town with a crack in your windshield. Stop by Williams Radiator and Glass and let Tommy and the crew fix it up. That's Williams Radiator and Glass on Chestnut Street in Murray, next door to the post office.
Papa John's Pizza in Murray announces a shopper special. Get a free order of breadsticks with the purchase of any large 2-topping pizza for just $8.96. Order the shopper special now. And remember to register to win a free Papa John's satin jacket to be given away January 15th. No purchase necessary. Papa John's in Murray.
So call your Papa. Papa John's. Now that's serious pizza.
When you need blocks, bagged cement, mortar, or concrete, you need Fitz Block and Ready Mix. With their fully automatic plan and fleet of radio dispatch trucks, they're able to handle any job, no matter how large or small. Plus, with their blocks and bagged products, Fitz is your complete concrete product center. The next time you're building and need concrete or concrete products, stop by Fitz Block and Ready Mix on East Main Street in Murray, or just call 753-3540. Fitz on Main Street in Murray.
Hello again. It's me, your friendly radio announcer. Now, since I've become a famous radio personality talking about Kane's Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, people ask me what kind of car I drive. Well, I have to admit, I don't drive a car from Kane's Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle. No, sir, I drive a Dodge pickup. Which brings me to another point. See, a truck is a vehicle that many times has to pay its own way. And friends, there's a reason why Dodge trucks are called Ram Tough. Well, it's easy. It's because they're made tough. And they come in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and they got the Plymouth Voyager and Dodge Caravan minivans. Tell you, they carry their weight, those Dodge trucks. So if you're in the market for a truck, before you sign anything, go into Kane's Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle and tell them you want to look at a long bed. Pickup, that is. Kane's Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle, Highway 641 North in Murray. Keep on